You better tell them or I will. You better tell them. We gon' talk about wrong, right, death, life. Talk about anything you like, you better tell them or I will. You better tell them or I will. You better tell them. We gon' talk about broke, rich, real life-ish. Speaking like this, I can't miss. You better tell them or I will. You better tell them or I will. You better tell them. We gon' talk about the old, young, smart, dumb. Let me show you where I'm coming from. You better tell them or I will. You better tell them or I will.
Man, you better tell them or I will. You better tell them or I will, man. You know, shit, man. Words, right? Words have power. And a new thing is words are spells. They put spells on you. Man, I'm going to tell you something I know. Not believe, no. You could get into what's called a rabbit hole and go down as far as you want to go. But make sure you got something on you that you can tug on to be pulled out when you're a little bit too deep and fatigued. And I say that because a lot of people, with the beauty of technology, comes across a lot of information. And a lot of things are said that rock with you. Make you say, I dig that. Right? Like words are spells. So what the fuck? I don't want to be, I don't want no spell on me, so I'm not going to learn words. I'm not going to learn how to write them, use them correctly, so on and so forth. But anyway, words have power. Brother Jay from X-Clan, if you never listened to him, go listen to him, the first album, To the East Blackers. He says, words make a world of difference in an instant. Words make a world of difference in an instant. And in another part, he says, a narrow-minded man makes stone seem soft. Thank God for hip-hop. Thank God for MCs. Stay on track. A lot of cliches, a lot of philosophies, and I'm grateful for them, man, because that helped move me in this direction, which got me sitting in this chair talking to you, using words. And processing, boundaries, toxic relationships, these little cliches that you hearing and using, right? And now I'm not using these words to the extent that they are, they're like catchphrases, what they call them, man, catchphrases, trigger words, and triggers, all of that type stuff. And I'm sitting there thinking, talking to myself, I said, Self? And Self said, what's up, Doc? Because Earth, Wind, and Fire said, it's all right to talk to yourself sometime. Just know where to draw the line. Get some Earth, Wind, and Fire in your life. It'll help you out. And I'm starting to think, and I'm talking to myself, and Self say, what's up, Doc? What you got? And I say, hey, man, he's using this word. And then I'm starting to realize that people that is using these words in the wrong context or just using them, period, is the same people that's dipping and dodging what needs to be addressed head on. Boundaries, right? Let's go with that one for a moment. I got to create safe boundaries. I got boundaries. And you got these damn psychologists and therapists teaching these kids this and all that. I'm going to stay on track, but I'm just talk, right? The other day, I go to my daughter's door. Daughter just turned 13. And my wife said, remember, you have to knock on the door. And I said, all right, word. Got it. Because my daughter is my daughter and all of this stuff that her and her mom got. I got to knock on the door. My sons, I wish I would knock on the door. Shit, I ain't knocking on nothing. And the reason I'm bringing that up because I told my wife, you don't have to knock on her door. I have to knock on her door. You don't have to knock on her door. Ain't no locks on the doors in this house. I'm coming through the motherfucker. Okay, but anyway, so you got to create boundaries. And what's another one? I understand safe place. Got to have a safe place. Got to have a happy place. But this I got to set boundaries. And what hit me when me and Self was chopping it up, the women and men that I roll with have never said that shit to me. Why? I'm glad you asked. Because when you live a certain way and conduct yourself in a certain way, boundaries are already made. I know some men, when you in their presence, you know they ain't for the BS. I don't give a damn what your BS belief system say. You know not to go to them with that. Huh? And they didn't create no boundary. They didn't say, hey, the line is here. No, they just living. They just living and it come out of them. And you know, you could see the difference between the woman and the young lady that's not a woman. You can see the difference. Some of you brothers out there, you done already saw a woman and was like, whoo, she out my league. Just from looking at her. And I guarantee you, she didn't say, I'm going to create a boundary and be this. The boundary is already set because you live a certain way on a certain set of principles. I'm going to give you an example from hip hop and rap, right? And excuse me with my time frame, but that the 20, 21, 22, you know, especially 21 and 20, it was kind of bad for rappers, man. To where you heard this catchphrase, rap is the most dangerous career in America, right? Bullshit. But anyway, you start to see these cats losing their life based on the way they living and what they talking about. So, another cat that ain't got no boundaries, catch the guy out of bounds, test him, and it goes bad for everybody. But you got this man, and I'm only saying this because I've seen it on the gram, and he's one of my favorite in my top 5, right? That walks around the airport, travel by himself, no security, with a damn flute. And nothing happens to him. That's Andre 3000, by the way. Then you got an OG who understands boundaries when it comes to street activity, moves by himself, and has no problem with nobody. That's Ice-T. Well, I've had the privilege of sitting in his presence in his home in the day. Man, he's a man. He's responsible. He's mature. He's learned. He's put the difference with the distance. Huh? You don't hear them talking about they got to have boundaries. Huh? Come on, man. You don't have to make a boundary. You don't have to go, hey, because what happens is when you make this boundary, now you're so rigid because you're in protection mode of said boundary. If someone crosses over it and you haven't developed the character or the constitution to refrain, hold back, somebody cross that line, you jump at them now, you wondering why the sun's shining, but it's gray in your life. But if you do that internal work, straighten that back, grow spiritually, physically, and mentally, the boundary will be set. Happened for me. Happened for me, and I didn't even know. Didn't even know. Started to change my life, right? And there's certain people that I don't see on purpose no more. Ain't got nothing to do with a boundary. We just on different pages, huh? Matter of fact, we ain't even on different pages. We in different books. Matter of fact, we in 2 different libraries. Matter of fact, they ass ain't even in the library. They on the street. Huh? And then so as I started to make these changes on self, not the world, not anything, start working on me, then these cats that was with me and ready to take over the world, huh? Secret handshake and shit. But life! Motherfuckers ain't even checked on me in 14 years, baby. And I'm quite all right with it. Hey, man, we were thinking about coming over. Please don't. Change that thought. Please don't. I don't want you to. I'm okay. I really do. You know, because and it's not a knock on them, but we don't have nothing to talk about. I'm not interested in the club. I'm not interested in I have become what some would say boring. But the truth is, I'm having the time of my life, man. Shit, the hell with setting a personal boundary. How about we work on what we, a boundary for what we need and what we don't need? How about we work on that? Because, boy, if we don't get a hold of some truth, we will always be out of bounds thinking that we need something that we don't need. Goddamn $1,000 birthday party for 1 year, for the person's first year. Not needed. It is not needed. I've been through it 3 times. I'm telling you it's not needed. Okay? But ain't no damn but it's not needed. You know? It's like work on those type of things, like governing yourself. I don't know the opposite word, not opposite, but I don't know the additional word of boundaries. Got to go to the thesaurus, which I'll do later on. But set the boundary on self. Like let's start doing some things that we know we don't need to do or should not do. Let's work on that and get that out of our life. Certain things we don't need to eat. I don't know about you. But at this 48 coming up on 50, certain stuff I just can't eat no more. Another word that they use, transparency. Transparency or transparent has nothing to do with honesty. Most people confuse being transparent with honesty. But anyway, being honest with you. If I eat a damn burrito, I gotta eat that motherfucker before 6 o'clock in the Oh man, and it took me a few times to recognize that, bro, you can't eat that no more like that. You know? And I had to accept that because I like burritos. My wife loves Mexican food, especially when it's good. You know, she could eat the shit every day. And I had to, learn that. But let's start working on things like that, man. And lay off. How can I say this, Mom? I don't want to say lay off. Give yourself a break with what's coming through the YouTube, the Instagram, the information, the how-tos and should-dos, right? If you get something that rock with you, it grab your attention, grab it, look into it, investigate it, put it into practical application before you get out there talking about this, what you're about, and this how you doing. And this, because if it ain't solid, it's going to change on you. It's going to make you look bad. And we all know we don't like looking bad. We don't like looking stupid. Yeah? So work on that, man. Work on self because it always goes to self. Self. SHAWN's acronym, definition for self, right? Stupid, egotistical, lying fool. That's from me to you. So I got to get self in check. I got to get self, the beast in me, to bow down and sit in a reclined position to the God that's in me. That's where the work need to be done. All this other stuff, run it on autopilot, man. Go to work, do your thing, pay your bill, all that. But make sure you conquering self. Because self will get your ass in trouble. Shit, you better tell them, boy, I will. I'm going to holler at y'all, man. I love y'all. I love this. And hey, guess what? You love me, baby. Yes, sir.
Conversation probably reach across the nation. I'm getting to the point, be patient. Tell them or I will. You better tell them or I will. You better tell them. Yeah. You are now tuned in to the #1 podcast on the internet. Sean P. You better tell them.